Hi KG2I families. I'm here today to show to you how to help your child with journal writing. I've noticed that many of our students are copying words when they do their writings, or maybe they're asking you to spell each and every word for them that they want to write. So hopefully I will provide you with a few tips to help you to build their independence in writing skills. So let's start with number one. Number one, kids will rebel. Yes, and I want you to be ready. They will rebel. This is not easy for them. Even the strong writers, it's not easy for them. At this age, there are lots of things that they need to think about. It's not just what to write, it's how am I going to write? What letters am I going to use? How do I write those letters? Some of them might not even remember what the letter looks like, and they need to remember that. And also about spaces between words and upper cases versus lower cases, punctuation marks. So it's very tiring for them. And if they can get out of it, they are going to try. Another reason is because they lack the confidence. Even though I know that they can write, and maybe you know that they can write, they don't believe it themselves. So, and we need to help them to build their confidence and let them know that they can write and they are doing a great job. So to do that, we need to set mini goals for them. So how do we give them mini goals? We can ask them, for example, first, draw the picture. But before they draw, just ask them what they are going to draw about. And set, for example, 10 minutes for them. Set a timer and tell them, I'm going to be over here and I will come back once the timer is off. So you can go back and look at their drawings and ask them, now, what are they going to write? And ask them about the sentence. It's very, very important so that they can get this verbal practicing because only they can write it if they can say it. If they can't say it, so that they can't write it. Okay, now next, set the timer and let them to try to write the sentence on their own. If you feel like 10 minutes it's too long for your child, you can set 5 minutes. Or if your child still doesn't have that confidence that he can write the whole sentence, it's okay if he will write just one word, but the child should do it on its own. So you have to move away. This is how they build the confidence, only when they are doing it by themselves. Okay, here's number three. Number three, kid writing. And this is a big step we don't want to skip. And this is definitely a phase that they go through before they get to what we call good writing. So right here, it says, I like to play with my brother. So if we sound out these words as a kindergartner, they heard the sound correctly. Some of the letters are wrong because in English some letters make different sounds, but they wrote words that they heard, and that's what we want to encourage. As you may realize already, that we don't want them to feel or to think that they can't do it. So you can tell them, okay, if like the child wants to write and he asks you to help him, you can just tell him that I know you can use kids writing and I want you to take your time and your stretchy snake and stretch out those words and write them down as you hear and let them do it on their own. This is very important. Again, we can help them and we should help them, but we shouldn't do it for them. It's very, very important. If we want to build the confidence, if we don't want them to stop writing in grade one, then we should help them to build their confidence. And we shouldn't do it for them because, yes, they're so little, but they do understand when the work is done by the child or the work is done by his brother or his sister or his mom or dad. So, yes, we shouldn't forget about that. And once again, I want to remind you that we do want to tell them how to spell. I mean, when they're doing their writing sentences. Sometimes when they do it for fun, in that case, you can help them. You can spell for them maybe. But when they're doing their journal writing, we do not do that. And why? Two things happen when we do this. The first of all, we are doing all the work and they are doing no work. And number two, by spelling for them, we are telling them that you cannot write or you can't do this, and we don't want to give them that feeling, right? So please don't spell words for them. Just tell them, I know you can do it. Just sound out the word and write it down as you hear. Stretch out like a snake is stretched. Stretch it out and write it down as you hear. So, number 4 is praising them. After they finish their writing, we praise them. We go over their writing and we say, wow, I'm so proud of you. You worked independently. You've done this work on your own. And next, you just see what child can do. For example, maybe he started his sentence with a capital letter. So you mentioned that, you praised that. He kept space between his words and used lowercase letters. And maybe the child wrote even multiple sentences, not just one sentence. So yes, try to mention that and praise that. So number 5, here where you can offer to show him how to write. You can either write it right under his sentence or you can write it on the separate paper. But before you do that, please ask your child. Just tell him, may I show you how to write? Do you want me to do that? And usually they say yes. So, and when you will write, you can say, you can start writing I and just point, say, look, you started your sentence with a capital letter just like me. And next word, space and like. And you can say, like, my word like has silent E in the end. And yours doesn't have because silent E is silent. You can't hear it, so you didn't know and you didn't write. And next, you put your you write your two, and you can say that he put his two together with like, but like and two are two different words. And when we spell two, it spells with O and O. But yes, but it sounds like oo, so that's okay. And so you go through all the sentence, and all the time you're just showing to your child what he can do. Do not show him that there's something wrong because they are learning. And that's okay again to make mistakes. Hopefully those 5 ideas help and you will be able to use them with your child. Once again, do we help our kids? Yes, we help our kids. We do help them. But do we do it for them? No, please don't do it for them. Just help them to do it by themselves. We always say, Mama, please help me to do it myself. Thank you so much, dear parents. And if you need, or if you have any questions, or want me to make another tutorials to explain something, I'm ready. Just message me.